So just to give you a bit of background on our organization, we're SWIS Africa, or Shaping African Women in STEM. We're about celebrating, promoting, and encouraging women who are either in science, technology, engineering, or math-related fields, and also encouraging younger women and younger people as well who are looking to join these fields. This interview is like a platform of telling your story and also telling the stories of other women who have done amazing things in this field, and also just like shining a spotlight and showing that it's possible. Yes, you can be in these fields and succeed as a woman. You don't have to have some superhuman or supernatural um, efforts. Yeah, so you can succeed in this field. If a man can succeed, you can succeed as well. So just a bit of that about us. And like I mentioned before, my name is Lily. So it's really nice to meet you. Can you give us a brief introduction of yourself and also your background and career in STEM?
Okay. Thank you so much for this opportunity to be here. My name is Gloria Appiah Nsiah. I am originally from Ghana, which is in West Africa. I am currently a PhD student and a research assistant, a graduate research assistant at Arizona State University. So I did my undergrad in Ghana in Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology in civil engineering. And then I did my master's at Arizona State University, ASU, in civil, environmental, and sustainable engineering. And I'm currently in my final-ish year of my PhD in environmental engineering. So that's a little bit about me and my background.
Okay, that's wonderful. Well, congratulations on entering your final year.
Thank
I know
you.
that PhD programs can be a bit long sometimes. Is it 5 years or was it more?
So this is my fourth year.
Oh,
But because I did my master's at ASU too, I sort of add everything together. So I'll say 5 going on 6 years. So
okay. All right. And how has the experience been for you?
so far it's been great. It's been a lot of opportunities, and specifically for my faculty here at ASU, they've been very supportive, very wonderful. I've had a lot of, support from not just the professors, my colleagues, especially for international students being in such a large institution. Sometimes you get lost, but I've never felt lost. I felt very supported, and yes, so far it's been a great experience. So I'll say,
Hey, that's wonderful. And you said environmental engineering, is that
yeah,
right?
yes.
So how did you get into this field? How did you get into environmental engineering? What inspired you?
Okay, so maybe I'll start from maybe high school. So science was just one of the options to choose going to high school, and I found myself there. And moving to college, engineering was one of the options that I was looking into specifically for civil engineering. And then when I finished my undergrad and I moved to the US for my master's, I had to select an option amongst certain specializations, if I'll call them so, in civil engineering. And I chose environmental engineering because one, I thought the prospects for research was high because issues of environment, climate change, air quality, stuff like that was a big thing in the US. And aside that, for the course that I had taken, I could see myself pursuing that route of engineering, research, water pollution, public health, an intersection of all of that. So, and then I got some faculty members that were interested to have me join their labs. So I'll say naturally, I just joined. I took the opportunities that came my way, and I found that I wanted to do a PhD in environmental engineering. And so far, I've loved it. And I love that I'm becoming an expert in something in environmental engineering. So I'll say that has been my path so far. Yes.
That's nice. That's wonderful. And what would you say you love the most about environmental engineering?
That's a great question. Um, I love the research, the fact that it is sort of interdisciplinary. So I get to work with chemists, I get to work with biologists, public health experts, because we try to find like the effect of environmental pollutants on the environment. At the end of the day, we want to see how it affects humans and animals too. So there's a little bit of public health. So I've had to uh, learn more than general physics, chemistry, engineering. I've had to do a little bit of biological design and certain biochemistry routes that I didn't think I was going to do as an engineer. So I love that it's sort of broad, and I find people doing environmental engineering and then going into chemical engineering, going into chemistry, biochemistry, biology. So that is what I love about environmental engineering, the fact that it is kind of interdisciplinary and you get to work with various departments in the science field. Yes, that's what I say.
It's nice. It's wonderful. And who would you say are some of the mentors that you have had in your environmental engineering journey that have inspired you? And if you could share maybe like one or two experiences.
Okay. Some of my mentors will be my current advisor. She is specifically doing research with plants, so more of developing communities, which is something that I am interested in. And I've liked the way she has mentored me to not only try to finish or graduate, but take your time, learn, explore. She makes me independent in my research, and I like that about her. The other person that I can talk about, she was not specifically in the field of environmental engineering, but civil engineering. That was my supervisor at an internship I did in a mining company. And she was one of the few women there. She was just fresh out of college, but she was very vibrant, very hardworking. Like, she was there in the pits. She was working, and then outside of work, you see her outside, and she was involved in volunteering. She was coaching like a high school team, and I thought that was very inspiring. That she was really young, and she was, working with these people who had worked in the mining industry for so long, and she was still very confident and very assured of their capabilities. So she is one person that I would say really inspired me and is my mentor. So those are the two people I can talk about.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And what would you say are some goals that you're looking towards in the future to achieve in environmental engineering and STEM as a whole?
Okay. I have several of them. I have several goals. I'm hoping to eventually be in teaching. I love teaching. And also, I want to be involved in like education policy making, especially in engineering. And then I want to own a private environmental consultancy, a consulting firm. Um, I think I am not as interested in research as I am in teaching, but I'm also open to academic research. So I'm open to everything. But I think the number one thing, based on my passion and my interest, would be teaching and education policy. That is what I'm looking to do in the next couple of years.
Okay. And what would you say you like the most about teaching and like teaching in engineering compared to like research?
Okay, so in my first year of my PhD, I got the opportunity to teach a class. It was like a lab class, and I enjoyed the interaction with the students. They were undergrad students, looking to know, and I really appreciated the impact that my teaching had on them. The fact that they progressed in the understanding of the topics. It was very interesting to see how they went from, zero knowledge to understanding the concepts. It was very fascinating for me, and it was like an experience that I really enjoyed. And I love the school space, interacting with students and colleagues, and I got to work with faculty as well. And so that made me, understand that yes, this is something that I want to do long term. And yeah, that is my experience with teaching.
That's wonderful. Yeah. And you mentioned you're also interested in engineering education policies. So, what kind of policies are there for engineering when you're talking about like education?
Okay, so with that, I would say what birthed that interest is coming from Ghana, coming to the US, and understanding the differences and realizing certain key factors that affect the integration of African students into the US educational system, and things that I saw could be made better in terms of our approach to engineering in Africa is what made me start reading into it, start researching into it. I was part of a project in engineering education with women, specifically with the American Society of Engineering Education. So more of researching what key factors affect women who move from Ghana into the US and navigating different educational systems, educational settings. So in the future, in Ghana, I would want to be part of designing curriculums or creating paths where we will have a specific focus on engineering education aside all of the STEM, because engineering has to do with a lot of instruments, a lot of software, and a lot of specific tools and resources that you cannot just lump together with all of the other sciences. So that is where my interest in educational policy is. And in the future, maybe there could be like a high school that's basically or only does engineering. So, heavy on the robotics, heavy on the software engineering. You have people who are interested to narrow down their science to technology and engineering, attend such schools and sharpen their skills and continue that route. And also be able to still compete on the global level, not just in Ghana. And that is what my idea about educational policy in Ghana or in Africa is.
That's wonderful. Like, wow, it sounds like you have a lot of wonderful ideas.
I do.
It's great. Honestly, I didn't really even think about the curriculum and, education when it comes to engineering, but that's also an important aspect, right? Because at the end of the day, these people will become professionals that would go out into the engineering space and also just the world. So they have to have some sort of background, right?
Yeah.
But yes, that's wonderful. Thank you so much for that. And also, what advice would you give to young women who are considering studying or pursuing a career in STEM?
Okay. I would say now the field is evening out. It's evening out. So there's more and more women in the field. There's more and more opportunities for women. There's more people excelling to look up to. So I think the idea that the field of science, technology, engineering, and math has been male dominated is gradually fading away, in my personal opinion. So my advice to women would be to excel, to aim to excel and be an expert in the field. And in terms of selecting the STEM, programs, I think now it's open to all. And I think there's equal opportunities for men and women. I think there's still, gaps and things like that. But now, it's better now than before. So women should not still have that idea that it's a male dominated field. to be in the STEM field. So that is what I would say to women, young women choosing the sciences.
Hey, hey, thank you so much for your time today. It's really been lovely. A pleasure having you. And yeah, that would bring us to the end of our interview today.